ERC, quality service since 1972. Repairing TVs, console stereos, electronic musical instruments, pinball machines, arcade games, and more. Call 836-0454.
You've clicked on the Weather Extreme video. I'm ABC 3340 meteorologist Brian Peters coming to you once again from the lovely and cool Mount Cheaha, where it's just a bit cloudy today. Let's roll back time for just a minute and look at a satellite picture from yesterday afternoon showing the scattered nature of the storms. And I thought it was interesting, the sun angle made it look a little bit like it was three-dimensional. And, of course, we know the atmosphere is three-dimensional out there. And here's a look at radar from yesterday afternoon. We did have a couple of clusters, one in northern Alabama and one in northwestern Mississippi. So looks like kind of a repeat for the next several days. Here's a morning look at Tuscaloosa, and we do have some clouds over the state today, and Demopolis showing the same sort of thing down there as we look over the Tombigbee River. Here's the surface map, and we have a lingering front just to our north, and it looks like that front will be a focus for showers and thunderstorms for the next couple of days before it more or less washes out and then converts to just an upper ridge that'll just be giving us air mass showers and thunderstorms. Here's the 500 millibar pattern overlaid on the water vapor imagery, and you can see the trough that is lingering across the eastern half of the country. Temperature-wise, still quite warm. As a matter of fact, look at those 60-degree readings in south central Canada. Wow, there's just plain a lot of yellow, and the yellow are generally 60 and above readings, and of course very warm in the southwestern United States. Fortunately, no sign of any really bad heat for the eastern half of the country, and especially the southeastern U.S. Now, a little bit closer to home, of course, we're bottoming out around the upper 60s for the most part across central Alabama as we head back into the lower 90s for most everybody today, although with a few more clouds this morning, it may hold temperatures down just a bit. Storm Prediction Center outlooking an area in North and South Dakota for a slight risk of severe weather and the possibility, especially across the lower Atlantic coast, the Carolinas, for the possibility of some isolated storms that could reach severe limits. And that slight risk continues day 2 across the north-central United States, across the Midwest and the upper plains areas. QPF-wise, not looking for a great deal of rain across the southeastern U.S. for the next several days, and it looks like a bit of the sea breeze effects with a lot of rain in Old Mexico and across South Texas and, of course, across South Florida as well. Now, let's turn our attention to the tropics, and there's Bertha out there way out in the Atlantic, about 1,600 miles to the east of the Lesser Antilles, and it looks like that Bertha is probably going to miss the little weakness in the upper air pattern, and the National Hurricane Center's outlook is bringing the storm, holding it at tropical storm strength for the next 5 days, but it's tottering right there on the boundary between hurricane and tropical storm strength. All right, here's the 06Z GFS model run, and here is the 500 millibar pattern for today, and you can see that trough. And tomorrow the trough is still in our area, so I expect to see a fairly good number of showers and thunderstorms, and with high precipitable water, we might see some locally heavy rains. And there's the surface pattern that goes with that, and you can see the scattered showers. 500 millibar pattern weakens just a little bit over the southeastern U.S., but you can still see those little vorticity centers, which will help to enhance showers and thunderstorms. It stays somewhat flat on Tuesday, and then we see a little bit of an amplification with that little short wave coming through the flow over northwestern Arkansas and southwestern Missouri, but not any real big features to hang your hat on. There is a bit of a front coming through the central plain states, but once again, one of those fronts that's probably not going to actually get to us, maybe get into the vicinity. The little troughiness on the east coast begins to kind of gel up a little bit, look a little more formidable on Thursday, and you can begin to see what appears to be Bertha out there in the Atlantic. And then at the surface map, here's you can certainly see Bertha out there, but once again, the front washing out across the Ohio and Tennessee river valleys. By Friday, we see the pop-up of that 594 height contour over Florida and the northern Gulf of Mexico. That's not a good sign. Fortunately, it doesn't stay with us very long, and there's still Bertha out there in the Atlantic and a front draped across the Ohio and Tennessee river valleys. By Saturday, the 594 shifts a little bit further to the west, and then by Sunday it looks like it more or less sort of weakens, but we're certainly firmly under an upper level ridge, and with that the possibility of just scattered showers. Not much change in the Voodoo Country area, but let's take a look at this is the 17th, kind of mid-July, and certainly the heat bubble is not exactly with us, but is certainly going to be warm, and just the scattered showers continuing. And for all of the Voodoo Country out there, all the long-range 1 to 2 week period, certainly no change going on. Well, that'll do it for this Weather Extreme video. Certainly appreciate you tuning in. Hope that you have a great weekend, and God bless.
Weather.